If you ever want to know what someone really thinks about you, just let them believe you can't hear a single word they say. I pretended to be completely 100% deaf for 2 whole months, just to see if my younger brother's new fiance was actually a gold digger. My brother Jake is an absolute sweetheart. He's a soft-spoken architect, makes great money, but he's totally blind when it comes to love. So when he brought home Vanessa, warning bells started ringing in my head immediately. She was a little too perfect, always complimenting my mom's expensive jewelry, always asking very specific questions about our family's real estate portfolio. Something just felt off. So I hatched a crazy plan. I told Jake I had a sudden severe inner ear infection that caused temporary but total hearing loss. I even bought custom earplugs that looked exactly like high-tech hearing aids, and told everyone my doctor said they wouldn't work for a few months. At first, Vanessa was the perfect picture of sympathy. She'd over-enunciate her words, smile brightly, and pat my arm like I was a golden retriever. But it really didn't take long for the mask to slip. One Sunday afternoon, we were sitting in the living room. I was flipping through a magazine. Jake went out to the garage to grab some firewood. The absolute second the door clicked shut, Vanessa pulled out her phone and called her best friend. I heard every single word. She laughed and said, "Yeah, the deaf sister is totally clueless. Once we get married, I'm convincing Jake to sell his half of the family cabin. We'll take the cash, buy a condo in Miami, and leave these boring people behind." My blood absolutely boiled, but I didn't say a word. Not yet. I needed hard proof. I set a trap. I went to my laptop and mocked up a fake, incredibly authentic-looking legal document. It stated that Jake had secretly signed over his entire trust fund to a wildlife charity, leaving him with nothing but a massive mountain of student loan debt. I left it sitting right on the kitchen island. I sat at the dining table, sipping my coffee, watching her out of the corner of my eye. Vanessa walked in, saw the paper, and stopped dead in her tracks. Her eyes darted around the room, then she quickly snapped a photo with her iPhone. Literally 48 hours later, she broke down sobbing in our driveway, telling Jake she wasn't ready to settle down and needed space to find herself. Jake was devastated. He crashed on my couch for a week, but then I told him everything. We decided to wait just to see what she would do next. Sure enough, 3 weeks later, she texted him. She said she made a huge mistake and begged for another chance. Jake invited her over for a reconciliation dinner. She walked in, wearing a sad smile, playing the absolute victim. Mid-bite of her fancy salmon, she leaned over to Jake and whispered, "God, I just hope your sister doesn't expect to live with us when she goes fully deaf." I calmly put down my fork, dabbed my mouth with a napkin, looked her dead in the eye, and said in a perfectly normal, clear voice, "Don't worry, Vanessa. I wouldn't be caught dead in your Miami condo." The color completely drained from her face. She looked like she'd just seen a ghost. Jake didn't say a word. He just slid a printed transcript of her phone call across the dining table. She didn't even grab her designer coat on the way out.